everybody. Welcome back to our Tefillah conversation. Last week we went into Elokei Neshama, and we'll continue. Elokei Neshama, Shenasata bi Tohora hi. We say a pasuk in Tehillim, Kol Haneshama Tahalilka Halaluka. The Gemara Masechtas Brachas 25a, if I remember correctly, says, what is Kol Neshama Tahalilka? With every breath, I'll call Neshima Uneshima Tahalilka. On every breath that a person takes, he should thank Hashem. We say, Ata barasa, Ata yitzarta, Ata nafachta bi. You blew it into me. You blew the neshama into my body and gave me life. This blowing the neshama into us, what does that signify? What does that mean? And how do we attain it? How do we keep it? So we know if somebody goes underwater, or if somebody stuffs their nose and mouth for a couple of minutes, they'll die. If you choke somebody, they don't have air to go in, then the neshama goes out. So you see clearly how air is needed to keep our souls alive. The idea of blowing, of getting air, getting the neshama into us, is by breathing, having our breath regulated, having just to be able to speak words. We're releasing air in different octaves and different levels that release different sounds, which make different words. And we bring it out from our heart and from our lungs, and we speak the words that we think. It's a beautiful connection of how things work. So when we say Kol Neshama Tahalika, we say for every breath we have to thank Hashem. And the word Neshama comes from the word Neshima, from breathing. So we get to understand that the whole idea of us being alive over here, and the only way we could keep ourselves alive is through our breath and through the wind, and we get to communicate through that. So we know that having a fire, as we spoke last week, a fire needs the oxygen. It needs to be able to live. You can't choke it because then the oxygen is going to go away. You need to give it fuel, as we spoke last week. You need to give it the body, so it could continue burning. You need to give it matter that it's going to keep it going. And as we spoke about in many areas, the matter of our soul. What's the matter of our soul? All the memories and stories that we've brought onto ourselves, because they become the lessons. They become the stories of the past, and we use our neshama, our hindsight, when we stop and we breathe and we relax. We look at those stories of the past, and we use them as matter to burn for our future. We use it so that our neshama could continue going. When we say Elokei, my Hashem, neshama shenasata bi, tohora hi, the neshama that you gave me, she's pure, she's clean. What does that mean? Cleanliness. If you have anything, you buy yourself a new couch. It's brand new, it's sparkling, it's so nice, and we keep on telling everybody, no shoes around the couch, no jumping on the couch, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. That's what like every parent wants, and it stresses us out. But it takes some time, and eventually it gets a stain over here, it gets a stain over there, and 5 years down the road, we totally forget that this is what we went through, and this is how we reacted back when we first bought it. Maybe when we see pictures, but it just moves on. It goes off our minds, and we just continue living. The neshama that Hashem gave us is clean, and we don't want to give it back tainted. We don't want to give it back with stains or anything. But what we remember is fire has no way of becoming tummy. Fire has no way of getting any stains on it, because you try throwing anything into it, it'll just burn it up. It'll just light it up, take whatever you throw in there and get rid of it. It'll evaporate with the fire. So our neshama is tahira. It's pure, it's clean, and the only way we could return it this same way is not by it. Like if we go and we say, oh, we did so many averos, we sinned so many times, now my neshama is tainted and it's not tahir, it's not pure anymore. Then what we're essentially saying is that that what we received over here is something that is physical, something that is earthly, something that is like a couch that could become dirty. And what we announce over here in the beginning is there's no way for it to get dirty. All we have is that these stories that we've gone through with our neshama. The neshama is our life, it's our batteries, and we used it for something wrong. but it's our choice to go and take the thing that we've done wrong and bring it up to a level of holiness. The Gemara asks a question. I think it was Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. I think it's Masechta Shabbos. The Gemara asks, why don't we have two mouths? One mouth to speak Divrei Torah and one mouth to speak Dvarim B'Telem. And the Gemara answers, if look how much nonsense we speak with just one mouth. Imagine what's going to happen if we have two mouths. Okay, so let's not even go there. Our nose and our mouth is what makes us different than the rest of the world. Our nose is our das, and our mind is our masa. We're able to bring things down into this world. We're able to explain certain ideas. We're able to take our knowledge and bring it out into physical, into this world, and to change people's hearts, change people's lives. When we understand that these words only come out through air, it only comes out through our breath, we see how much value we have in just being a human being, just by being here on earth and taking up this space and having the ability to speak, having the neshama within us, gives us so much more life and so much more will to continue. It gives us so much more drive to be the person that we should be. So now I have this amazing sefer over here in front of me, where right over here, Ela Devarim, beautiful, and it goes on over here. So Rabbi Yochanan, okay, we have Rabbi Yochanan in the Gemara, where in Masechtas Brachos of Hamad Beis, he shows up and he sees how Rabbi Eliezer was sick, and he goes over to him and asks him, do you what? He came into the room and the room was dark, and he raises his sleeve and the whole room becomes light, and he sees how Rabbi Eliezer is crying. So he asks him, why are you crying? Are you crying because you haven't learned enough? Don't worry, as long as you thought about Hashem while you learned. Are you crying because you don't have any money? Don't worry, not everybody has money and Torah. If you're crying about your kids, don't worry. I had 10 kids and this is a tooth from my youngest son and who's dead, and don't worry, there's hope for the future. Rabbi Eliezer says, no, I'm crying because I know that you're going to die one day, and this beauty that you just lit up the entire room just by picking up your sleeve, I know that you're going to die one day, and this beauty is going to be gone. And Rabbi Yochanan started crying as well. And meanwhile, Rabbi Yochanan asked him, do you enjoy this, the suffering that you're going through, this pain and the sickness, the illness? And he says, no, not them, and not the reward that I'm going to get out of them. So Rabbi Yochanan gave him his hand and just picked him up, and he was out of his sickness. He was healed. This story has very interesting, obvious questions that we should ask. Number one, why, if he's sick, why is his main focus on the beauty of Rabbi Yochanan, and that's the reason he's crying? Another one is, because I cried for this, I deserve to be healed. This is the only reason, I should be able to get up, because this is my problem. That's why I should be taken out of my misery and brought back to life. So the answer is, as we're here on earth, we have our neshama. And our neshama is here to learn certain things. We have to learn a whole bunch of things, how to connect to Hashem. There's a lot of knowledge that we're supposed to add to our life that will bring us closer to Hashem. It'll bring our soul to a position where we understand Hashem even better. And that's what we say, Kimala Aretz Deas Hashem. We will know Hashem with knowledge. Through the knowledge of the world, through the stories and the lessons that we go through, we'll be able to learn Hashem and learn the way that He acts and the way that He works in this world. And Rabbi Eliezer, he felt like, I'm not ready to die, because there's still something here for me to learn. I still have things on this earth that I still haven't figured out. I don't understand the beauty of Rabbi Yochanan. And by me understanding that, I know that I'll get to understand and get to see Hashem from a point of view that I still haven't been able to attain. I still haven't been able to see Hashem from this beautiful perspective. Just like I could take a tree, or I could take a story of my life and learn how to elevate it into a place where I learn the lessons out of it. I see how trees grow, and I see how bees go into their hive and just reproduce and have babies. And it's why are they having babies? Why are they keeping their species going? they're keeping it going because they understand that this is their duty in life, so they do it. And Rebbe Lezer says, I want to live in my life because I want to fulfill my duty. I want to see every part of the world and learn from them, learn from the bees how to fulfill my duty, learn from the bug how to put away food for my life. I want to learn from everything, and I still haven't learned from Rabbi Yochanan. I still haven't learned where this beauty comes from. So Rabbi Yochanan says, if that's the case, if you still have something to learn in this world, then you deserve to live. And he gives him his hand and he picks him up. So as we continue into Shas, you go into Baba Metzia 84a, you see how the Gemara starts talking about the beauty of Rabbi Yochanan. The beauty of Rabbi Yochanan is one of the leftovers of the beautiful people of Yerushalayim. And then the Gemara says the beauty of Rav Kahana is like the beauty of Reb Avuhi, and then Yaakov Avinu, Adam Rishon, and the beauty goes all the way back to the way Hashem created the human on earth. Hashem created Adam Rishon. He was like he was like glass. It's like Hashem took earth, Afar min ha'adama, he took Afar, and how do we make glass? By blowing glass, blowing earth, blowing sand, and that's how we blow it up. We take fire, we mix these elements, and we take a mixture of fire, air, earth, and water. Earth is the sand, Afar min ha'adama. You take fire and you put the soul into it, you put the Neshama into it, and you blow. Hashem went and blew, and then you dip it into water, which is tefillah, and you go and you cool down the entire creation until it becomes this beautiful vase, this beautiful vessel to be able to hold everything within it. And when Rebbe Eliezer understood that, so we see the Gemara explains it. The Gemara explains how did this beauty come to Rabbi Yochanan. So now, technically, Rebbe Eliezer already learned it. He knows the idea, so Rebbe Eliezer could go. But not just that, Rabbi Yochanan, this lesson that we learned from Rabbi Yochanan, that if we still have something to learn on earth, then we have to stay. We still have to remain here to take these lessons. We learned that lesson from Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan teaches us that when he takes Rebbe Eliezer out of his sickness. So the Gemara continues in Baba Metzia Pei Dalet. Right after we talk about where his beauty comes from, the Gemara goes into the story of Rabbi Yochanan and how he died, how him and Rish Lakish had this little conversation, and they felt bad that they smirked upon each other. How Rabbi Yochanan, they were talking about certain knives, and Rish Lakish said, I know which knife should be used, and Rabbi Yochanan is like, yeah, because you used to be a thief. Rish Lakish, you used to be a thief. That's why you know your knives. And Rish Lakish felt bad that Rabbi Yochanan said that, and Rabbi Yochanan felt bad that Rish Lakish felt bad, and Rish Lakish ended up dying. When Rish Lakish died, Rabbi Yochanan lost his mind. He lost his capacity to think. All his mind would say was, where is Rish Lakish? Where is my friend Rish Lakish? The Chachamim tried so many different ways to help him out, but there was no way to get him out. At some point, when they saw the Shav Da'atai, that his mind went away, that he had no more capacity to think, and he was gone, they davened for him that he should die, and he died. So, why? Why not daven for him to continue living? As we learned, since he had no more mind to think, there was no more reason for him to be alive. And Rebbe Eliezer, since he still had the mind, he still had topics to cover, he still had subjects to dive into, he still had a purpose. But Rabbi Yochanan, who didn't have his mind anymore, he had no purpose. So that's why they davened, and he left, and he died. So we see how living on this earth is about learning new lessons. And as long as we have our Neshama inside of us, Kol Zman Shanasham Bakirbi, as long as my Neshama is in me, Modeh Ani Lefanecha, I will thank and acknowledge Hashem for everything that He has given me. I will learn every lesson that I could learn. I will spend my time properly. I will use every breath of mine to find Hashem. Kol Haneshama Ta'alaka, with Kol Neshima. With every breath of my life, I will learn to thank Hashem. And that's what we learn. There's so much we could get into when we talk about the Neshama, how the Neshama came to be, and why we all have little parts of the Neshama. If Adam Rishon had this one Neshama, and we're all broken down into little pieces, and we all have little parts that we have to fix. And possibly we'll get into it another time. But until then, take this to mind, to heart, and think about it. And just by having these thoughts, allowing them to absorb within you, into your mind, into your heart, they'll slowly start changing you. They'll slowly put you on a path of understanding the value of time, understanding the value of your neshama and the soul in this world and what you're supposed to do with it, and learn how to see Hashem throughout it. Thank you so much. My name is Lemmer. I know you know that by now, but I would love to be in touch with you. If you want to read my books or watch my videos, you can find them on Amazon, on YouTube, and you can reach me at lemmerhypno@gmail.com. I'm a hypnotherapist, and if you feel like you want to change in your life, you want to upgrade or level up, or enhance the way you see the world, please reach out to me, lemmerhypno@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.